Hey everybody, it's Sisterlocks here from Black Hair Compass, and I am back with another video. In this video, I'm going to talk about why I am afraid to get sister locks. Obviously, y'all, I don't have locks anymore. I cut them, my first set, which was actually a beautiful set of locks, like beautiful set. Every time I went out in public, people loved my hair. I loved my hair. It was beautiful. But one of the reasons that I ended up cutting it is because it was just too much hair on my head. It was too much hair. I naturally have like really thick, or I don't want to say I have thick hair strands. I think I just have dense hair. I think I have a lot of hair strands. And so it gives the appearance of like thick hair. And what that meant for my locks is that I had even thicker locks. I just literally was walking around with a lot of hair on my head. And even now, sometimes my hair gets on my nerves. If it's like in my face or it's on my neck for too long, sometimes I just need to like pick it up and throw it in a bun really quick and just get it out of my face. And what I found with my locks is that I could not do that. Like, it was just too much bulk and my hair wasn't long enough for me to really like get it up. If I needed my hair out of my face, I had to stop. Usually it was when I was cooking. I would have to stop cooking, go to the room, try to find a head wrap, like fiddle with it so that it would like fit my head properly, and then I could get my hair out of my face. But now I have the added weight of the fabric, so I'm dealing with my hair and the fabric. I just felt like I was wielding a lot of weight around on my head, and so that was ultimately part of the reason that I ended up cutting my first set of locks. It was just too much hair. It was too bulky to really manipulate. It wasn't very malleable because there was just so much hair in my locks. And as I am still like going back and forth thinking about, you know, what will be in the future for my hair, should I decide that relaxers are not for me, or that I'm in a season where I don't want a relaxer, I've been tossing the idea around of getting sister locks, but ultimately I find that I'm afraid to get sister locks because I feel like it's gonna be the same thing again. Like, I feel like I'm gonna have, again, because I have so much hair, I'm gonna have all these sister locks that will be smaller in size, but the end result would likely be the same as my first set, where it's just I have a lot of hair and it's bulky and it's difficult to, like, you know, it's not as malleable. I can't manipulate it as much because there's so much hair. And so this is my question to people who have sister locks or who have had sister locks in the past. And maybe if you, and not necessarily, but if you've had a set of traditional locks to compare it to, is the sister lock experience unique from the traditional lock experience, not just in the aesthetic, but how it feels to manage like sister locks and traditional locks? If you're someone like me who every now and then just needs your hair out of your face, is it easy to just throw up sister locks and like put them in a bun or like tie them in a hair tie? Because I know I could not do that with my traditional locks. There's just too much hair, you know. So is it the same? Like, am I gonna end up with the same problem but just kind of like in a different version, or is sister locks gonna be an entirely different experience from my traditional locks? It's just one of those decisions that I just keep going back and forth on, because ultimately the cost is making me really slow down and think about my decision. Like before, most of the things I want to do with my hair, they don't cost me much money. It didn't cost me anything to go natural. Barely cost me anything to get a relaxer. It didn't cost me anything to have traditional locks. It will cost me a lot to get sister locks, and I don't want to spend all that money just to end up in the same exact position that I did with my traditional locks, where I grow out all these beautiful locks, commit all the length of my hair to my locks, only to have them get to shoulder length and then realize like there's no real way for me to tie my hair up out of my face when it's getting on my nerves, because again, I'm back to the bulk issue. So if you have experience with that, if you have thoughts on, you know, if the sister lock experience is the same or different from the traditional lock experience, leave that feedback in the comment section below, because I really don't know. I really don't know. I would love to experiment with sister locks, but I'm just not trying to spend my money on something that's gonna end up like my first set of locks and then I cut it off. And I've been seeing some videos of people who, granted, you know, everybody's story is different. Everybody has different experiences, but you know, I've been seeing some videos of people who've like, yeah, I've had sister locks for 11 years, I'm combing them out, or I grew my sister locks for 2 years, I cut them off, I just didn't want, you know, and I'm like, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money to just be like, I don't want it anymore. Like, you know, like I don't want to do that. So at any rate, if you guys have any feedback or comments, leave them in the comment section below. I would love to know your thoughts on if you have any insight whether or not sister locks are, you know, really different from traditional locks. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next time.